What's going on, everybody? This is Nick from House of Paint 203 bringing you part 2 of our Mother's Day special. These are 2 more of the miniatures from the 6-piece set from Credit UK. And we're going to get cracking on these. So in this part, we're going to be working on a dragon Wyrmling and a unicorn foal, so pretty cool. I actually threw a poll out there on my Instagram page, and if you're not following me on Instagram and you would like to, my handle is actually right down there, so you could go ahead and follow me there. I'll also be posting this at the end of the video, as always, with the rest of my social media accounts. But so I put a poll out on my Instagram page because I was debating on what color to paint the dragon Wyrmling. I knew I wanted to go either red or blue, so I threw that out there, and majority ruled, and we are going to go with a red dragon Wyrmling. So that'll be pretty cool. I was hoping that it would kind of lean towards red, as I was thinking of, I don't know, every time I picture a dragon Wyrmling, I just picture a red dragon. So that's what we're going to be working on today. We're going to go with a red dragon Wyrmling and, of course, a unicorn foal. So we'll play with some interesting color schemes on the unicorn foal. Before we get started, just a friendly reminder to smite like and slam subscribe so that you can stay up to date on all the latest content that I am putting out there in my quest to paint the manual. Mother's Day special part 2 coming up. All right, here we go for a base coat on the young red. I'm going to be going with a little heavy red. And while our first coat's drying, I'm gonna go in on his belly. With a little khaki. Be a little bit more deliberate with it on this round. Really just in areas where the light would catch. It's like the raised areas, anywhere that there's a curve. Just remembering that this is still my base coat. So that's pretty good as far as the base coat goes. Now I'm going to go in, I think, with a little bit of a wash on the belly there. So to dull this belly down a little bit, I'm going to go over it with a sepia wash. And I might just do it in the areas where, you know, it's pretty covered up, where it's like meant to be darker because it's underneath or tucked in between the crevice of the legs, etc., under the chin. Leaving the front area here exposed since there's like a bulge there. So I'm gonna go over that a couple times just to really establish that that darkened color. And I'll catch back up with you when I have applied more coats. All right, so this is actually 3 coats of the sepia wash, and you see right down there, up here. I think that's a good enough transition for me. And now I'm gonna go back into the scales with a little bloody red. Bloody red is kind of like a pale red. It kind of borders on the kind of the fringe of orange a little bit, so I'm gonna Again, I'm just kind of focusing on areas where I think the light would catch. More so on like the upper third. Of the legs. Right now I would love to just get in here on these more pronounced scales with some more khaki. I've mixed a little white in with this khaki. I'm going to start off on his eye with a base coat of Prussian blue. I'm going to start making my way down the eye. Kind of like the lower portion of the eye. Grabbing a little sky blue mix going down on the bottom. And a little point of light. There we go. Some fun stuff. I'm going to look into his scales here and see if I can add a bit of orange to the mix that I already have. So I'm going to take a little bloody red, a little orange fire, kind of blend the two together, see what I can stir up here. Guys, I think I'm ready to call the little dragon done, except for his base. We'll definitely get his base going with some effects, some basing effects. But I think it's time to get in here on the unicorn. So a pretty similar color scheme to the wolf that I just did. Actually, I'm going over the unicorn foal with a base coat of heavy blue-gray. Right, there's one coat with the heavy blue-gray, and now I think I'm gonna go in for the second coat in certain areas. Just to establish a little bit of the more raised areas. You see right there, the dried heavy blue-gray really does have a nice kind of slate gray finish to it with you know, a little twinge of blue even. So now what I've done is I've taken some of my heavy blue-gray and I've mixed it with a little stonewall gray. I'm going to use this as one of my midtones for this figure here. So nice and diluted. I'm really going to be hitting a majority of the exposed areas. So there's a little stonewall gray. Now I'm going to be taking some stonewall gray by itself. gonna go in with a dry brush. I'm doing all the flesh first because I don't want to get anything on the mane. I'm taking some of that khaki mix that I used as the highlight. On the dragon's stomach, and I'm going to be using this on the mane. I'm going to take some pale yellow and go over some of the raised areas of the mane. This is not a dry brush so much as it is an overbrush. I didn't want to risk a dry brush because I didn't want to get any yellow on the fur. So instead I took some, pale yellow on my brush, and I really just grazed the edges of the mane there so that it just caught. Last order of business here on the mane. Added some white to the pale yellow, and I'm just really grazing. Now, as you can see here, I have already completed the eye on one side because I wanted to see how it would look. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Got that effect right there. It's actually pretty simple. I'm going to start off with a base coat of dark Prussian blue. Anytime I do eyes, I start in the middle. Work my way out, at least with the base coat. While that is drying, I want to see what a little fluff pink or flump pink would look like in the ear. I think the dark Prussian blue is dry, so I'm going to take some of my deep sky blue. Get a nice little mix in here. Take that mix, and I am going to take pretty much the bottom half of this eye. Leaving the dark Prussian blue above. Give that a moment to dry. While that's drying, I'm gonna take a little white, create the point of light. It's too big. Wiped it off, and actually when I wiped it off I got a nice little effect there. So see, sometimes we have happy accidents. Now I'm going to take some sky blue all by itself down at the very edge. Of the eye here. So I just cut it off with the mid-tone there, and now I'm gonna re-establish. All right, for the horn, I'm going to be going over this with a bit of khaki. Now taking some, adding some white to the khaki mixture, I'm going to be kind of like so. Then I'm going to let that dry, and then I may go over that with a sepia wash. We'll have to see. Opting to go with that sepia wash here, just to really take advantage of this awesome texture. All right, so while the unicorn's drying, I'd like to start basing the dragon Wyrmling. So I am going to add a couple patches of Scorched Earth. And these are stickers, but I like to just, you know, make sure they really stick. So I usually add some glue, just a little dollop.
Scorched Earth is a real nice effect to use with creatures that breathe fire or live in a fiery domain. That's what I'm using with this little guy right here, and then I'm gonna be putting some stone kind of around the edge here. It's actually pretty good. I like to just cover the bases. The bases are as much a part of the model, in my opinion, as the model itself. So let's go back into the unicorn. He should be dry. Okay, so I do want to have an array of different colors going on the unicorn's base, and the one that I really want to pop is the fantasy tuft here. So it's definitely got those pink kind of edges, and I'm going to back that up with another fantasy tuft. I like that there because it's got a little bit of blue in it. It's kind of a nice compliment. All these tufts are from the Vallejo line. So, and you can probably find them at your, wherever you get your paints, or if not, certainly on Amazon or something. They're called scenery effects. This one's more of a kind of like a lime green right there. Take another kind of small one. It may be a stone. That'll fit perfectly right. All right. Our little baby unicorn is looking pretty good. All right, and there we have it. Mother's Day Special Part 2, the Red Dragon Wyrmling and the Unicorn Foal. Really hope you enjoyed the painting of these models. I know I enjoyed painting them. Stay tuned for Mother's Day Part 3. We're doing Mother's Day all week, like I said. But as always, I thank you for joining me. Information on how to follow me on all my social media platforms is immediately following the video, as is information on how to follow Dominic Marriott from Credit UK, from whom these wonderful miniatures came from, and Mike Donnarummo of MVD Studios. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.